Hi everybody, I'm Cameron Carey from the Pro-Fit private training facility. I'd like to discuss with you today the concept of the row. Now, to achieve a rowing movement effectively, we are trying to engage and more specifically recruit the middle region of our back, which are those slabs of muscle just between our shoulder blades, those rhomboids that run down. Now those slabs of muscle specifically, it's quite a large section of muscle, is primarily involved in optimizing our thoracic function. So in other words, our thoracic spinal function is that middle region, long extended region of our spine, and maintaining relative postural form for other exercises. So it achieves that, and more specifically enables us to maintain better postural positioning for other extended demands and movements. Now, the rhomboid itself is a muscle rather, that needs to be engaged and set primarily before we even start engaging our row. So we now need to be able to neurologically send a message to the correct area to be able to determine that contraction prior to us initiating our row. So what does that mean? What it effectively means is that we want to now ensure that our shoulder blade, our scapula, is not in what is known as a winged state position. Okay, we want to now ensure that our shoulder blades are now drawn in flush in towards our spinal column. So we now we need to set them back, so we retract the shoulder blade back, and then we, most importantly, we depress the shoulder blade down. Now what that basically means is that sends the shoulder blades now, if I can describe it to you, into a V-tapered position. So the retraction back goes there, and then the adduction down goes there into a shape of a V. Now we want to retain that shape throughout any form of row, okay, irrespective of the angle of demand, specifically 45 or horizontal. Now, what that'll mean that we are isolating the correct region, and we're loading the correct region as well. Now, the compensating structures that actively get involved with this exercise, namely which is not our friend by any measure, are our trapezius. Now, the trapezius are the large muscles on the top region of our upper back, okay? Now, a lot of these back structures, as with many muscular structures, overlay, so they overlap. Now, the trapezius, the upper trapezius, obviously plays a big role in a lot of neck tension into other areas known as the levator scapulae and the spinous capitis, which runs right until the actual jawline. Now, the lower trapezius is one area that is very important to strengthen. So we're trying to condition that lower trapezius area, just about there, running down into the rhomboid, okay? Now, the incorrect version, you'll notice, done in gym environments specifically, is when individuals actively over-row. Now, what I mean by an over-row is that we now need to achieve our setting, like I discussed. So what we do, we retract the scapula back, all right? We drop it down. Now, once we've achieved that, we now want to ensure that we row, and when we row, our elbow ends at our hip bone. Okay, now, to achieve that, we want to make sure that that hip bone there is positioned there. We do not over-row. So in other words, as soon as my elbow passes my hip bone, we've lost our back contraction into the rhomboid. Where is it centered now? Our arm as a secondary contraction is taking more load. Now our trapezius and other stabilizing functions, incorrect stabilizing functions to the shoulders are getting involved. So here it is again. If you look at the length of the movement, it is very short. The setting is there. I row back. I now am loading that existing setting. I squeeze my elbows into my hip bone so my elbows aren't flaring out. Okay? I release the movement forward, and I do not overextend the arms or release the shoulder blade out of its initiated position. If I achieve that and we start in that rounded position, we are immediately going to row directly into the upper back and into that trapezius region. When doing that on a consecutive basis, that's going to involve a massive amount of upper back and neck tension. And unfortunately, as soon as the trapezius starts becoming more dominant, due to incorrect form done in gym environments like that movement can be, the next step, unfortunately, is rotator cuff syndrome and all sorts of neck and shoulder and upper back related injuries. That can in turn later on also lead to more lumbar issues because of the whole curvature of the spine. So you know what, we don't want to go there. We want to do everything with correct form. And as with clients within Pro-Fit, they're very well aware of that. Physiology is our primary concern. and screening in the basic setting and understanding what these structures involve. So you as an individual need to understand more about what it is that you need to recruit, how to do it, how to engage it, so you are optimizing your exercise given the row, and you're getting more benefit out of your training going forward. I hope you found this video informative. Please feel free to contact us on Instagram at Pro-Fitgym, or alternatively on Facebook at Pro-Fit Private Training, or alternatively our website at www.profitgym.co.za, or please feel free to leave a comment just below the video that you've just watched. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your time.